Gosh, kind of strange that the Dan Bongino show, which covers the news of the day, did not address the Bubba Wallace NASCAR news story. Well, if you're a regular listener, you know why I didn't do that. I didn't address the story because I was following the Bongino rule, which is on any story like this that has a racial overtone to it, wait 24 to 72 hours for the truth to come out. Sometimes the truth is the initial story, and sometimes that's devastating. But on stories like this, we do not discuss them until the facts and the investigation come in because they're almost guaranteed to be debunked, which the Bubba Wallace, who is a NASCAR driver who claimed to find a noose in his garage at a NASCAR event. When he said this story, I told my wife, did I not, Paula, give it a few days, and I promise you this story will be shown to be inaccurate. So just some background. If you missed it, I'm not a NASCAR follower, fan, but Bubba Wallace is apparently the only a Black American on the NASCAR circuit right now, the major NASCAR circuit, Bubba Wallace. So he claimed they went in a garage and one of his crew members saw a noose hanging from the garage. Okay. So here is a media montage. Who is this? This Grabian? This is Grabian. This is Hat Tip the Great, Tom S. Elliott. Yeah. We love Tom on Grabian. Thank you, Joe. Here is a montage of the media before anyone even investigated if there was an actual noose hanging in a black NASCAR driver's garage. Nobody investigated this. It was just based on claims. Here's the media. They're absolutely sure this is true. Check this out.
NASCAR is investigating a horrible incident.
A horrifying, racist, jarring, disturbing,
heinous, perverted,
ugly,
cowardly,
dreadful,
hateful,
stunning, shocking, appalling, disgusting reminder of who, again, this sport is for.
A noose found in the garage stall of Bubba Wallace.
Obviously, this is completely appalling, but do you think it's surprising?
No, it's not surprising at all.
And NASCAR is often considered a sport that is tethered to white folk, tethered to the South.
The Confederate flag in a sport that is overwhelmingly white and certainly dominant among Southerners.
And NASCAR has been trying to somewhat move away from it. And I say somewhat in kind of air quotes.
They were going to remove Confederate imagery. To think that that's going to happen in a span of 2 weeks after all that NASCAR has been for all of its existence is foolish. I mean,
my cynicism and sadness is that it's just not shocking to anybody.
As much as NASCAR may try to distance itself from that, it's a living, breathing part of their sport.
We need to understand that racism continues to be the underbelly of American society.
I mean, that this happens in the year 2020 is just beyond belief.
Let's just remember that until the last 2 weeks, NASCAR endorsed and embraced this sort of performative racism week in and week out by embracing and wrapping itself in the Confederate flag.
Again, hat tip Tom Elliott at Grabian, which is really terrific. Folks, how did I open up the show? It's not about statues. It's not about police reform. It's not about George Floyd. It's not about masks. And I said, it's not about facts. There was our media. You had one job. You know that line on social media? You had one job. It's used as a joke when people fail at things and it's their only job. It's like going into a Starbucks and asking a barista for coffee and they give you a donut. Like you had one job as a barista to do the whole like coffee thing. You know, that's what you do. Well, you had one job in the media. Reporting facts, which you blew again. So the FBI sent a staggering 15 agents, 15 agents, wow, to investigate this alleged noose in the garage. Here we see at the Washington Examiner, of course, which will be up in the show notes, FBI, no hate crime committed in NASCAR incident. Noose may have been in Bubba Wallace's stall since October. Noose, otherwise known, ladies and gentlemen, as a garage pole. We're calling those nooses now? Folks, just to be clear, so I stay away from the social media mob and cancel culture on this one. There is a rope in my garage on one of the stalls. It disconnects the garage when the power goes out. It's not a noose. Okay? There's no racial connotation to it. It is literally a red rope. That doesn't mean I'm a communist either. See, conservatives don't do that stuff. He's got a red rope and is going communist. It is with a handle. Now, the rope in Bubba Wallace's garage was tied into a handle, which they are now calling a noose. Oh my gosh. What did I tell you opening in the show? Opening up, it's not about facts anymore. We are living in a post-facts world. Why? Why? Because intimidation and mob rule is power. And when they can say, look, you conservatives are supporting a racist country to the core, the United States, you can't even have a black driver in NASCAR, there's a noose in his garage. When that works for them, that intimidates people into silence. That's real power. Now, you'd think the media would be embarrassed by this story. Bubba Wallace, too. Who I gave a pass because he didn't allege he saw it. It was someone in his crew, and he said he was backing up. He gets no more passes now because now he had the opportunity to do the right thing, Bubba Wallace, and say, listen, it was a mistake. Whoever hung this rope, which I'll show you a photo of, by the way, in a minute after I play this clip, has been there since before Bubba Wallace ever went into that garage. And nobody knew he was going to have that garage, by the way. It's been there since 2019 at least. He had the opportunity to do the right thing, Bubba Wallace. And instead of doing the right thing, he did the easy thing, which is to go on CNN, where you know they love racial animus stories and hoaxes. I mean, it's CNN. That's all they do is hoaxes. The Collusion Hoax Network, the Juicy Smollett Network, the Covington Kids Network. So he goes on there with Don Lemon. It's hilarious, Don Lemon. He goes on with Don Lemon, Bubba Wallace, and you think he'd say, listen, my mistake, the FBI came in, it was really just a garage pull for the door with a handle on it. Nope, not Bubba. Here's Bubba's comments. Check this out.
I've been racing all my life. We've raced out of hundreds of garages that never had garage pools like that. So people that want to call it a garage pool and put out old videos and photos of knots being in their as their evidence, go ahead. But from the evidence that we have, that I have, it's a straight up noose. The FBI has stated it was a noose over and over again. NASCAR leadership has stated that it was a noose. I can confirm that. I actually got evidence of what was hanging in my garage, over my car, around my pit crew guys, to confirm that it was a noose. And never seen anything like it.
Guy's never seen a rope to pull a garage closed. He's never. So just to be clear, we're living in such a non-fact-based civilization now that anyone who has a rope or anything that looks like a rope or anything resembling a rope or a lengthy structure made of fabric, if you hang it from anything to do anything, you have to be worried now that people like Bubba Wallace will accuse you of being a racist and forming a noose. You know, that's interesting because there's a fan in my house and everybody always asks, it has like 2 belt straps on it. Right, Paula? Everybody always asks about this fan. It's not out. We bought the cancel culture. We bought the house from someone else. I didn't install the fan. I didn't install it. There's a leather strap on both sides. I don't know what it's for. Nobody else does either. If you've been in my house, you've probably seen it. They're like, what the hell are the bands up there for? They're not nooses. I don't know. I didn't buy them. I don't know what they're not fashioned into any kind of a thing, but this is cancel culture. I could see it now. I was in Dan Bongino's house. He has belt strap. That could be a noose. Anything now is a noose. Of course, we had this situation last week too. I didn't cover the story, but you had a black gentleman who put a rope hanging from a tree and fashioned a loop in it at the end. Noose in town. Noose alert. What happened? Man came on camera and said, it's not a noose, you morons. I was trying to put a swing together for the kids so they had something to swing on.
You just heard Dan Bongino.